learn anything, because it's not your conscious mind that's manifesting what you are and have. It's a part of your brain that most people will never directly access, no matter how much they learn in school, seminars, or books. But there's actually a way to easily and directly access this part of your brain, where your reality is created, and instantly change it. My name is Eddie Sergey. I'm not a scientist, a medical doctor, or a psychologist. I didn't go to high school, and I didn't go to college. I didn't read books. I didn't even homeschool or have a curriculum. I was a feral hippie kid, often homeless, always poor, and completely on my own. I've spent years of my life not knowing where my next meal would come from, or if I could find a floor to sleep on, rather than sleeping in the wet, dark Maui jungle. And whatever you're feeling, whatever brought you here today, like financial struggles, poor health, or a feeling of endless stress and fear in the pit of your stomach, I get it. I know what it's like to passionately, desperately want to believe I can change my reality with my mind. But when it came down to my daily life, I just didn't trust it. I didn't truly believe because I had been so powerless for so long. Until this sound changed my life forever. So please, watch this presentation all the way through. I'm going to reveal the one secret I discovered. The one thing that transformed me from a feral, homeless, hippie kid struggling to overcome my brain cancer death sentence, struggling to eat because we couldn't even afford the dollar menu at Burger King, and struggling to feel safe in such an unsafe feeling world, into a self-made, financially abundant entrepreneur. Now, if you're thinking, okay, Eddie, so how does a 37-year-old man who has zero conventional education work for himself and live financially independently? Well, I'll tell you my quick, full story in a minute, and how I used a simple pair of headphones to overcome my poor programming or mindset, achieving an incredible amount of wealth and abundance in my life. But first, it's important to understand how I even discovered this and why learning from books, tutors, masters, and teachers never worked for me. In fact, learning became my enemy. I've since discovered as learning is the worst thing you can ever do if you want to deliberately and effortlessly change your life, because it isn't your smarts that creates or manifests anything in your life. In fact, your intelligence, or what you think you know, gets in the way of letting in what you're asking the universe for. Here's what I mean. How many times in the last 5 minutes did you intend for something better, like more money, only to immediately think about and talk about what you don't want? Now, if you're like most people, including me, it's hard to take your attention away from the circumstances you don't want. That's because your subconscious can't let you focus on what you want. Here's what I mean. Your subconscious is programmed to force your attention to see what it wants you to see. It's like a supercomputer, and it's being run by old software. And it's software that's plagued by viruses called scarcity and limiting beliefs. Software that hasn't been updated with the right programming since you were born. That's why it's beyond easy to continue manifesting everything you absolutely don't want. Your subconscious is the noise in your head that won't let you think about the thoughts you want to think about. But you absolutely do have control. In fact, you already manifested everything you are and have now effortlessly. Don't you want to know how? Now, I have to admit, nobody taught me this stuff. This is a true story about real-life magic. Magic that anyone can easily tap into. The magic you've always known was there, and I'm going to show you how to easily access it. No, you're not crazy to believe you can transform your reality from the inside out. And it's absolutely not your fault that you haven't discovered this stuff already. There are too many wannabes, coaches, consultants, and marketers out there trying to convince people they know the secret. And yet, many of these gurus have zero abundance unless they're teaching you how to manifest what you want. But don't worry, you're not alone. This magic is so easy to access, even a newborn infant can do it. The bottom line? What I'm about to share with you is the only thing you'll ever need to tap into this magic and dramatically transform your life into the reality of your fantasies. But before I tell you what this secret is, how do you actually create your reality? Well, believe it or not, the latest in quantum physics teaches us that your reality is created with your attention. Your attention is what turns that subatomic particle I mentioned earlier into everything you have in your life right now. Now, I bet you're wondering, if my attention creates my reality, why can't I just think about money and make it magically appear? Okay, before I answer that, let me back up, because it's critical to know why your attention is actually creating everything you don't want right now. And once you get this, you'll never again wonder, why doesn't this stupid manifestation stuff work? Very quickly, here's what's going on. The reality you've been living with in the past is based on three things. First, the story you're telling to yourself and other people. Second, your limiting beliefs. And lastly, your judgments, and more so, your fear of consequences. These three things are what direct your attention. That's what your subconscious is. I call these three things the editor. The editor is your subconscious programming, and no matter how much awesome new information you learn, the editor, well, it edits that information and limits what you can do by keeping your attention distracted by what is, thus manifesting more of what is. That's why you're not here to learn how to manifest. Instead, I'm going to show you how to reprogram the editor so you can easily and openly live in your natural state of unlimited abundance. And I have great news. Not only can you reprogram the editor in your brain to automatically attract what you want, you can begin doing it today.
Thanks for watching. Click the link below to visit our website.